Meeting traffic, yeah, look at the gap. Train yourself to look at the gap. You know, for years and years, you've been looking down at the floor because you've been a pedestrian. You don't want to trip up or fall in or step in anything nasty, right? Or fall down or whatever. So you've looked down whilst you've walked for most of your life. So lift your eye up, look further. That's what a driver needs to do. We need to look way further down the road. If you're looking down at the floor, we're not going to see anything. I made a really, really good video about that, and I did some exercises about what blocks out and stuff. It's called Don't Look Down. If you want to go and have a look at that, I'm pretty proud of that video because it's got some exercises about where you look and what blocks, what you can't see just from the way that your eyes work. There's an exercise of where you look at your finger and you just can't see anything. It's actually a very small amount of area that you can see. So don't look down, look ahead, look really far down the road, and then things that catch your eye, which are closer to you, will make movement, and then you'll look at them anyway. So things that you can practice when you're watching your colleague or your friend or your parent or whatever driving, your family member, yeah? Just make sure that you watch their roundabouts. Make sure that you look at the signs. Make sure that you look at the road markings. Make sure that you check the blockers at the roundabout and when they're going. Make sure you look at the gap. Looking at the gap is so important in meeting traffic because you're probably more likely to look at the parked car or look at the moving car. Yes, you need to see those things as a driver, of course you do, but then you need to train yourself to look at the gap, look at the gap. If you're my student listening to this, it's obvious, I mean, because I'm your driving instructor, you'll hear me say, look at the gap, look at the gap. I'm just constantly saying, look at the gap, look at the gap. So my students would recognise that happening. So if you were my student, I would be saying to you, look at the gap, look at the gap. So important because the gap is part of the hazard, isn't it? Can I fit through the gap? I'm not sure. Okay, better stop then.